All right, let's dive in. Today, we're dropping you right into the middle of a city that's, well, it's gone completely silent, except, for the sound of shuffling feet and groaning. We are tearing apart the fast-paced, absolutely chaotic survival game, HAYWIRE Outbreak.
Man, that line just gives you chills, doesn't it? It perfectly sets the scene. Think about it. Weeks have passed since everything fell apart. The screaming is over, the streets look empty, but they are so not safe. This is the world you're about to step into.
So what is HAYWIRE Outbreak? At its heart, it's an extraction game, which you can play solo or with a friend. It's designed to be super quick, full of action, and just brutal. Seriously, you take control of a handful of survivors and you have one job. Just one. Get out alive. So what's the actual mission here? I mean, what are you trying to do? Well, on paper, it's simple, like really simple. Get to the extraction zone. But actually doing it? Oh, that's a whole other story. And how you get there can change everything. Okay, so the game gives you two main ways to play. First, you've got the simple game. This is perfect if you just want a quick, one-shot session of pure, unadulterated survival. Just get from point A to point B without becoming zombie chow. Or you can dive into the campaign mode. Now, this is the whole shebang. You're stringing missions together, you're scavenging for supplies, crafting better gear, you're actually living out a story in the ruins of the city. Whichever way you decide to play, you're going to be in charge of a group of survivors. And let me be clear, these are not just little plastic pieces on a board. No way. They are your lifeline. Each one has their own stats, their own gear, and you need to know what makes them tick if you want to stand a chance. All right, let's talk about the engine that drives this whole thing. Action points, or AP for short. It's the currency of survival, Each of your survivors gets 3 AP per turn to do stuff. Move, fight, search, whatever. But here's the genius part, the part that makes this game so tense. Your AP is tied directly to your health. So you take a hit, you lose a point of health, and guess what? Your next turn, you only have 2 AP. Every single wound makes you slower, less effective, and it creates this incredible, nail-biting spiral where every decision feels like it could be your last. And the combat? It's so streamlined. You're going to love it. No complicated math here. Instead, each survivor is just better or worse at certain things. It all comes down to 3 target numbers you need to hit on a 20-sided die. So the weapon you're using tells you which difficulty to check against. For example, grabbing a crowbar, that's an easy check. You just need a 9 or more. Easy enough, right? But firing a standard pistol, that's medium, so you're aiming for an 11 or higher. And that awesome sniper rifle you found, that's a hard check, my friend. You'll need a 13 plus. It's such a simple, elegant way to show that, hey, not everyone's a sharpshooter. Okay, so you've got your mission. Your survivors are geared up and ready to go. But you are not alone out there. Not even close. Let's talk about what's actually lurking in the shadows. Now, this is where HAYWIRE Outbreak gets really clever. You don't just put a bunch of zombies on the board at the start. No, that'd be too easy. Instead, the board is littered with these mysterious threat tokens. You know something is over there, you just have no idea what it is. The second one of your survivors sees one of those tokens, bam, everything changes. You have to roll on the current threat level card, and that little innocent-looking token is suddenly replaced by a group of infected models. Maybe it's just a couple of slow, shuffling walkers, or maybe it's something way, way worse. This whole system keeps you completely on edge because you never know if the next corner you peek around is going to be your last. And speaking of worse, yeah, let's meet a few of the special infected, shall we? First up, we've got the Screamer. Her cry is basically a dinner bell for the dead. At the start of her turn, she just lets out this awful shriek, and it automatically alerts the closest threat token. She's a walking, screaming magnet for more trouble. Then you've got the Bloater. You do not want to get too close to this guy. He's basically a walking time bomb. When you take him down, he explodes, and he'll damage everything nearby, including you and other zombies. And that explosion, it makes a massive amount of noise. And in this game, noise is very, very bad news. And then there's this nightmare, the Juggernaut. This thing is a literal tank. It's tough, it's strong, and it takes an insane amount of firepower to bring down. It's a true bullet sponge that hits like a freight train. When a Juggernaut shows up on the board, your sneaky little mission is over. It just turned into a desperate, all-out fight for your life. Okay, so
You know who you are, you know what you're up against, and you know where you need to go. So how does this all actually play out? Let's break down a single heart-pounding turn in the apocalypse.
Every turn breaks down into 3 pretty simple phases. First, you've got the player phase. This is your chance to spend your AP, to move, to fight, to loot. All your choices happen here. Then comes the infected phase. Now it's their turn. The horde responds, alerted zombies charge, and anything you haven't seen yet shuffles around. And finally, the spawn phase. This is where the consequences of your actions come home to roost, as any noise you made attracts brand new infected onto the board.
And that brings us to the central dilemma of the entire game, noise. How loud are you being? Look at this. A simple, careful move, that alerts things 6 inches away. Start running? You just doubled that range. And firing a gun without a suppressor? Oh man, that's a huge risk. That alerts a threat token from all the way across the board, and it permanently increases the game's threat level, making everything from that point on even deadlier. Every single loud noise is a massive gamble. So, let's put all the pieces together. You've got your action points draining away with every injury, you've got unknown threats hiding around every corner, you've got these terrifying special infected, and on top of it all, you have this constant risk of making too much noise. So what kind of game does that actually create? It creates an absolute pressure cooker of an experience. That's the heart of HAYWIRE Outbreak. The tension is always climbing as that threat level goes up. You are constantly forced to make that tough call. Do you try to sneak by, or do you go in guns blazing and just deal with the fallout? Every map is a puzzle box of hidden dangers, and the whole thing is built to be fast, brutal, and totally unforgiving. Survival is not guaranteed, not even a little. So in the end, every single game boils down to this one simple question. The horde is coming. Your resources are low. You can see the extraction point. It's right there, just across the city. But there is a sea of unknown horrors between you and safety. So, will you run or will you fight? The choice is yours.